The Tron franchise is a pioneering series of science fiction films that explores the intersection of technology and human consciousness. It began with the release of Tron in 1982, directed by Steven Lisberger. Decades later, in 2010, the franchise was revived with Tron Legacy. You guys know that incredible soundtrack by Daft Punk. Tron Legacy, directed by Joseph Kosinski, follows Flynn's son, Sam, as he ventures into the digital world in search of his missing father. The Tron franchise is renowned for its groundbreaking visual effects, particularly in its portrayal of computer-generated environments. And as you guys know, Tron Ares is forthcoming, and fans of the franchise are not very excited about this announcement. Joseph Kosinski is gone. Garrett Hedlund is gone. Olivia Wilde is gone. And as far as we knew, Jeff Bridges was gone. But not anymore, folks. Just released. Variety indicates that Jeff Bridges is returning for Tron Ares. All right, boys. Can this franchise be relevant? Let me say this. Thank goodness Jeff Bridges is going to be in the movie. Thank goodness. I was not very interested. I was going to see it. It's Tron. I hope it's great. But when they killed Jeff Bridges' character off in Tron Legacy, I had hopes that he was coming back. Kosinski was going to do the third movie. Garrett Hedlund would be back as Sam Flynn. All that's gone. All that's water under the bridge now. Now we're getting Jared Leto. But Jeff Bridges has announced he is, in fact, back. So, and you know what? That's not to say Garrett Hedlund's not going to be in it either. He very well could be. We don't know. But this gives me hope for this franchise, for this movie. Risman, what's your initial thoughts?
I'm with you. It makes me more excited for the movie to know that he's back. To me, yeah, you got the right shirt on, right? To me, there should, if you're going to do a Tron movie and any of the original folks are still around and able to be worked in the story in an organic way that actually moves it along and is more than just, oh, look who's here. You know what I mean? It ends up being meaningful. I'm all for it. This movie is a tough one for me. I like Jared Leto fine, but there's so little known about this story and what they're doing and what we had like one picture of Jared Leto in the red suit so far. And I mean, there's been, unless I've missed it, there hasn't been a lot of hype building for this movie just yet. So maybe this is the start to that, even though, of course, Jeff was very non-committal of how he was coming back or why or to what purpose, which is fine. I'm okay with that. But yeah, I think it's got to be a positive thing.
What do you think, Nick?
I'm a little bit on the other side of things. I think this is going to be the worst Tron movie out of all of them. I'm happy Jeff Bridges is coming back, but I don't have any expectations that this thing's going to be any good. They kind of got away from the second movie. I don't know how much tie-in there's going to be. Again, like you guys, I hope it's good. The second one wasn't very well received, and I don't know why. I thought the second movie was great. I loved the second movie. But I just something about it. And I'm not a huge Jared Leto fan either. He is a weird guy. And so I'm kind of on the fence a little bit. I'm definitely gonna go see it. Fingers crossed that it's a good movie, but I'm not really holding my breath that it's gonna be very good, even with Jeff Bridges' return.
I'm with you. We don't know enough about the project yet.
Yeah.
But with me not knowing things about the movie right now, I've got to say, this is a day one release watch for me. This is go on opening night and see what this is. We'll definitely know way more about the film before we get to that day, to opening day. We're going to find out a lot more about it, and I'll have a much better feel. But I agree with you. The fact that Jared Leto is the lead, it's not that I hate that. It's just, that's just not something that really gets me excited. To be fair, though, I don't think that I was all that excited about Garrett Hedlund being the lead for Tron Legacy. And they pulled that off. But that was Joseph Kosinski. This is something else.
Yeah,
you know?
and I think once the first trailer comes out, we'll all have a better idea on this movie, and I could feel completely different. After seeing the first trailer, I could be like, okay, it's sort of like the Alien Romulus trailer. I had pretty much zero hope that this Alien Romulus was going to be any good, but after seeing the first trailer, I was like, wow, this actually looks like it could be pretty good. So I could end up feeling the same way about Tron Ares once the first trailer drops. So we'll reconvene then when we see that, and I might have a different look on it.
And also, ideally, let's keep everyone's mouth shut. You know what I mean by that, right? Let's not hear it's reinvented for the modern audience. Let's not have actors out there saying their things. Let's not have the showrunners say everything about what we don't want to hear. The focus was right.
We're going to subvert expectations.
We like making men uncomfortable.
Mouth's closed. Give us the trailer. Just tell us how much we're going to love it and move along.
I agree. Well, Jeff Bridges had some interesting comments in the Variety article. He said, I'm heading off this Saturday to play a part in the third installment of the Tron story. Jared Leto is the star of this third one. I'm really anxious to work with him. I've admired his work. When reached by Variety, a rep for Bridges said the actor taped the podcast a while back and had already concluded his work on Tron Ares. So the podcast just came out where he basically let the cat out of the bag that he was working on the movie. And it's already happened. Now, based on his words here, he ain't going to be in the movie a whole lot.
I'm guessing it's going to probably be a flashback scene or something to do with that, because we all saw him die in the second one. I don't think he's going to be in the movie as far as like a main part of the story. I honestly think it's probably going to be maybe some DH flashback or even flashback within, the Tron world,
Well, speaking of DH, he says, the Tron Legacy was famous and infamous for how they de-aged him to try to make him look like he did in the late 80s. For its time in 2010, it worked. But if you watch it today, it's not up to industry standard. It's just not. So he says, I didn't like the way I looked in Tron Legacy. I felt like I looked more like Bill Maher than myself. It was kind of bizarre, And he really did. He's right. He just didn't quite look like himself. So it's kind of funny there. But guys, we're going to be watching, all things Tron Ares. We'll get the news out. Hope the movie's going to be great. So if you hadn't already, hit that subscribe button. Join us here at Echo Base Network live every Thursday night and Friday afternoon. So as we always say here, we are, you are. Echo Base Network, fight for the users. See you on the next one.
Bye, guys.
Bye all.